All right, guys, it is official. We are live. I don't see anybody in the comments right now, which is kind of odd, but I do know that I posted it out there. So hopefully we got some people jumping in pretty quickly. But overall, yeah, hey, there's Yak Bass. How you doing tonight? We are excited about tonight. I think it'll be a fun one. We've got our buddy Clay from Ohio in this, so we'll be bringing him on the screen. You got any introductions you want to throw out there? Kayla's micing it up while she's trying to read comments.
Sorry.
All right.
I can't read the screen that well.
You got any introductions you want to throw out there before we...
Hey, Josh made it. Glad you made it this
Josh
time.
Josh is here.
It was so funny. I was like,
Kayla was worried about you when you didn't join last time, so...
You're always there for us, so I was counting on it. No, I don't really. I'm excited to talk to him. I honestly don't know him that well. He's talked to you a bunch and me some, so excited to get to share some of his story. So,
all right, we are excited to bring on Clay from the Smallie Life.
How you guys doing?
Not bad. How's it going, man?
Going good.
So
enjoying warm weather.
Yeah, no joke. It is so nice to have that weather warm up. You know, we had been in South Carolina and we got back to super cold weather again, back in the freezing temps, snow and everything. So it definitely felt good to see that weather starting to warm up. We've had a week straight of rain and we've had now 2 days without it. And that seems kind of crazy, but it's coming back. We're going to have a few more days of it, but I may be able to sneak out tomorrow a little bit and dodge some of that rain.
Yeah, how's the weather down there? Is it been rainy?
He's really up from us.
There. Well, what I say down there for literally everybody.
Yeah, well, up and over.
Yeah.
It's, at this point, I think next week we're supposed to get a bunch of rain. We got a bunch of rain this past week, so all the rivers around me right now are blown out.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah. So at this point, I think we're supposed to be in the 70s right now. The rest of this weekend. I think it's not supposed to start raining till Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
So I am off tomorrow. I have a partial. Nice. I just work a partial day, so I'm hoping I might be able to get out a little bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully so.
Yeah. Good
I
luck.
work tomorrow, so if he goes out, he's going out without me.
Yeah, it'll be just me. We haven't done a just me video in quite a while, so it'll be a little different going out there by myself.
I keep trying to get him to teach me to drive the trailer, but he won't. He keeps coming up with excuses. And I think it's because he doesn't want me to go without him. But I'm getting ready to just learn anyways. I'm just going to take the trailer and drive one day.
You just got to do it. Just do it.
This has an excuse. Oh, it looks like Jose's in here.
Yeah, we got Jose on here. Welcome, man. It's nice to have you. All right. So the Smallie Life. Why the Smallie Life? What brought that name about?
Well, it's kind of a weird thing. There's a lot of moving pieces to it. I was taking a walk. We had a beautiful day. I was actually having a rough day. It was like, I need to get outside. I need to do something. Sun was shining. I need to get out. I'm out and, I'm starting to think of memories, think of different things. And I'm like, the small things in life, you need to be appreciative for those things. And then, my brain goes 100 miles an hour. And I start thinking about fishing. I start thinking of smallmouth. And then I'm like, Smallie. And then I'm like, there's so many small things in tournaments and in fishing that you need to pay attention to. Yep. Then I'm just sitting there, I'm like, the Smallie Life. It's just right off the top of the hat. I'm like, yeah, I like it. I'm just going to run with it. It kind of a reminder for me to look at it like, hey, I need to focus on the small things in life and just... And for me, I love smallmouth. So
I was going to say, it works.
It just goes with it.
Yeah. So I made sure I wore my Achigan shirt tonight. I see you're wearing the Smallie shirt. I knew you would be. Yeah, gotta support the smallmouth, and definitely needed to with having you on tonight because I know you're a Smallie guy.
Yeah, I think my family hates that I heard about Achigan because that's all I wear now. It's everything I wear.
I mean, their stuff is pretty awesome. The guys who actually draw that stuff up, I mean, it's unreal being able to put some of that stuff out there. And I mean, even the stickers, I'm not a big sticker guy. I throw my stickers on my black packs, but man, their stickers are the coolest stickers out there.
Mhm. I bought like their big bundle. So I have
Yep.
I have so many of their stickers, it's insane.
Josh giving me a hard time. He says that your 20-inch club shirt, Chase.
Yeah, he hasn't made it.
No,
there
I
yet.
haven't.
I
hit the
actually was going to
20-inch
wear
club.
mine. I actually
Yeah, you
broke the
should have.
20-inch mark this past year, and I was like, yeah, I got to get one of those shirts.
Yes, yeah, no joke, man. You got to. Josh needs to get a 20-inch club because that man catches them out of the
What are you talking
lake
about?
that we can't
He
figure
never
out.
catches big fish.
Yeah, that's what he always says. So, yeah. So, why? Let's get it started. When did you start fishing?
I was fishing at a young age. Like my family, like we like redneck camp along the river. Like we were
Yep.
back boats, like small, way back in there. So
Yeah.
for me, I've always fished. My family really doesn't fish though. I'm
Yeah.
like the only one that like die hard jumped into it. Like they just
Caught that
dabbled
bug.
here and there. My grandpa was the fisherman. Like he's the
Yeah.
one that got me into it. I would sit there and he would tell my mom, he's like, yeah, that kid thinks he knows everything about fishing. We would talk on the phone for hours. So for me, it was just, I started fishing young. My grandpa would take me out. And then when we camped, that's all I did. I just sat beside the river.
Yeah.
And it just, yeah, that's pretty much what it was. I just pretty much was outdoors 24/7. And then I was the typical kid that mom would get mad because I would sit inside all day, watch YouTube videos of all these fishermen. She's like, Clayton,
Yeah.
you're wasting so much time when you can just go out and do it yourself. I'm like, yeah, I guess that's true. That's true.
Oh yeah.
So there is hope.
Yeah, no joke. No, I get it. So I grew up the same way. I mean, we just were always outside, always doing stuff outside. If it could be done outdoors, we were doing it. We had 4-wheelers, we had horses, we had, we hunted, we fished, we did it all. My dad and I had a river camp, so we would go out to that. And that was, into my probably early 20s even, that we would go do that. And then I kind of got away from really all of it there for a while. I would fish here and there and, recaught the bug just a few years back. So that was something that was big for me. And I caught it around the same time that I really started kayak fishing at the same time. So yeah, that was big for me. So when you would fish, were you a bass fisherman, just anything? What got you started into bass fishing?
It was pretty much just anything that bit. Like we would go down there. It was corn. It was my uncle taught me how to make like dough balls. So we were catching carp, whatever was in that river we was trying to catch. That was something that later on, as time went on, I would watch videos. I'm like, I want to catch bass only.
Yeah.
And I was like the only one in my family that didn't do live bait. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go out. I'm going artificial. I gotta actually jump into the bass world.
Yeah, so I had no desire to bass fish. I mean, it was something I never thought I would really even care to figure out until I just got into kayak fishing and decided to try tournaments. So I was like, okay, I guess it's time to learn bass. But I didn't grow up and have smallmouth like anywhere near me. We didn't have them in our area. I would catch largemouth bass as a byproduct, which they were always fun to catch. It was always cool when I would catch them, especially when you would get a big one. It was like, oh, hey, this is a good fish, and but you just didn't think much of it. And then when I kind of fell into bass fishing, I really fell in. But again, I didn't have smallmouth. So I got to experience my first smallmouth when I went out to the Ozarks and fished some Ozark rivers with my buddy James and really started catching some there. And man, there is nothing like it. Even catching small ones, they fight so hard. So when did you get into smallmouth specifically fishing?
It was kind of like an in-between. Like the river that we fished mostly only had smallmouth, rock bass, just the basics. So we'd catch a lot of smallmouth until one day I had the old classic jitterbug. And I'm like, it was right before I had any growth spurts. I was short. I have a cheap rod. I'm out there fishing chest deep in water, trying to get, there's one spot across the river that was really good. And I caught a 19 and a quarter.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to walk backwards. I don't know how I didn't lose the fish, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've spent so much money in fishing stuff and lose more fish now than I did then. It makes no sense.
Joke.
But that was the fish that, like, it snapped. It was like, I want to catch as many smallmouth as I can.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a point that I kind of left the smallmouth and went towards largemouth because I was so diehard. I wanted to be on a bass boat tournaments. That was kind of like my thing. But then, I mean, it was kind of one of those things after a while. I'm like, no, it's smallmouth. Smallmouth's where it's at.
Yeah. So my dad, when he would fish for bass, which is not something that he really does, but I could remember him fishing for bass when I was younger here and there. And his two favorite lures were a beetle spin and a jitterbug.
I don't even know what a jitterbug is. So.
It's a topwater. It reminds me of a cicada.
And let's just say I've never caught another fish off of it again. It was the only fish I've caught off that thing. And
funny. I was actually. Go ahead.
I have fished it other times, and it's just has not really produced that much for me. Other than that one night, I had one good evening on it. That was it.
I taught a topwater class over the weekend, and somebody brought up the jitterbug as their favorite lure. And one of the guys, it was an older guy, and he said, well, why did the jitterbug stop working? Like, what made it stop working? And I was like, it didn't. People just they found other lures and started trying other lures. It's like
Sounds
anything
like an
else.
old person bait, apparently.
It's like anything else. You know,
Sorry, Roy.
You work lures really hard all the time, and fish seem to get used to it. And then something new comes out in the market, and they start tearing up those lures, and everyone starts putting those old ones aside. So in reality, one day you're going to see somebody win a Bassmaster like in the future, and the jitterbug's going to be the lure that did it. And everyone's going to go crazy. I got to get exactly what I brought up. So, Fishing with Jose said that he never touched a fishing rod until COVID, and he was just dying to get out of the house and picked one up, and immediately that addiction hit.
I would have never known that about you. Look like you've been fishing for ages. You already got that pro look down.
Yeah. He said, really, you don't know the jitterbug. Good old poppin' frog. Yeah, Whopper Plopper definitely took jitterbug's place. It's definitely that high action topwater lure. So what brought you into kayak fishing? How long have you been kayak fishing?
I got my first kayak when I was 15, 16. So it's like 10, 11 years ago.
Yep.
So I got my first, it was just a field and stream, sit inside. Like, I just wanted to get out on the river.
Yeah.
My whole family, they do canoes. They're canoe people.
Yeah.
So I was like, the only one in my kayak, like, I got to get out there. I want to be on my own. That's when I started doing the kayak scene. But then it's been, I think back in 2019, when I got my bona fide, and I was like, I want to do tournaments. But I've been in the diehard tournament side of it for the past like 3 years is when I really started fishing tournaments.
Yeah. Now, do you fish mostly river tournaments then?
No. I mean, all the ones that I've been to, actually, funny thing is the only tournaments I've ever fished is Kayak Adventure Series.
Okay.
Those are like the only ones, like, I'm the idiot that jumps to I go all the way up to the top. I ain't going to fish local.
I mean, why not, right?
That's what I did. My family thinks I'm stupid. They're like, Clayton, why don't you fish local ones, then go out and start traveling? Like, no, my first tournament, traveled up to Michigan, fished the Kayak Adventure Series, and I was like, yeah, I just jump into it. But this year I'm going to start branching off more and doing more lake tournaments because I fish lakes and I know how to catch them in lakes. I'm like, why aren't I trying to kind of adventure out a little bit more? But my favorite, if I have a choice, it's always going to be rivers. Yeah,
I totally get that. I mean, we've not had a chance to fish a lot of rivers, but the few we fished, we've just absolutely loved it. I mean, it's like we say all the time, and especially when we talk to people who haven't fished them yet, we're like, you go out and fish them, and you're going to be one of two people. You're going to be the person who loves river fishing, or you're going to be the person who hates river fishing. And we've fished with people that are both ways. Like they love it and people that hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It is way different because you're constantly moving, but
Yep.
It is an adjustment though. Like going from fishing, because like when I first started, like there was a span that I couldn't get on the river. So I fished a lot of ponds, lakes, stuff like that. So going from that to rivers, it's a complete change.
Yes.
But it's just for me, there's so much more adventure out on the river. That's what I love.
Yeah, like I'm not going to bring as many rods on the river as what I will on a lake tournament. I'm going to kind of zone it down to the rods that I feel like are going to be the most important out there, and maybe have more like multi-purpose stuff. You know, hey, what's going to be able to throw multiple different lures if I need it to? Versus on the lake, you can have as many rods as you can because you're fishing more open water. You're able to get it out there and not deal with trees. That's one of the biggest things about rivers that you've got to get used to is you're moving, and it's easy to get to throw into the trees or to get into the trees.
Yeah, that is something, but I'm still the guy that takes all the rods with them though.
Yeah.
I've modified in my black pack so I can like lay my rods as far as I can back so they're pointing behind me. So that kind of helps out a lot. But yeah, this year I'm trying to scale back. That's my goal for this year, to kind of like scale back, be minimalistic as much as possible, but that's hard for me.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. I want to make adjustments to the black pack and have my rods where they're not just up and down, because that it almost bit me in the butt when we were on the Mississippi. I had a time where I got caught up in a tree that had fallen across the river, and almost either snapped some rods or turned the kayak over. It was an adventure. I was up in that tree for in reality, probably 5 to 10 minutes trying to get myself out of it and wondering the whole time, like, okay, well, how is this going to end up turning out? So it was an adventure for sure, but I was able to get out of it.
I actually have 2 rods at home right now that snapped because of that. It's just, I've learned, as much as I love buying, like I would love to go buy expensive gear.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I can't. I got to have junk stuff that I can just beat up. That's for me, river fishing.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Outdoor Amputee is going to go out with our friend Chris down in Tennessee, and he can't wait. All I'm going to say is don't follow him down every path. I'm just saying.
Let him go down the path first, because he may lead you to a bad spot.
If you haven't watched that video of us fishing with him, you need to go back and watch it.
That was fun. If you look up our Tennessee trip, you'll be able to see when we went with Chris. The secret smallmouth river was like an absolute blast with him. And when he went around that corner and came up on a tree across the river and got swept into it, you could hear him. I was probably still, 100 yards out, and I could hear him yelling, "This is bad. This is bad."
He said his legs float, so it's all good. But I hear they can rust, so you need to wait until you get your waterproof ones first. No, it's fun. It's a blast, but I do have to pick on him a little bit because he picks on me. So,
all right. So what is it about the moving water that's so appealing to you?
For me, it's the challenge. Like for me, one, the fish are way stronger, so I love the fight. And for me, it's simple. Fishing current is simple because you know where the fish are going to be.
Yeah.
They stage up in the same, no matter, that's one thing I've learned tournament fishing in different areas.
Yeah.
Is that the fish are going to do the same thing no matter what river you're in.
Yeah.
Lakes, it's completely different. You can go over here, it's something different than on the other side of the lake, they're doing something completely different. Rivers, it's pretty much the same all the way across the board. Yeah, so for me, I've learned the river. I know the current. I know what they're doing. So that's what's simple for me. That's why I love the challenge.
Yeah. It's doesn't actually make it easier if you don't know what you're doing out there. But
Mhm.
I agree. It's very easy to find them on the lake because you just find the spots that you know that they're going to be in with the current and stuff.
Yeah, you meant the river, but
I
I caught what you were saying there.
It's been a long day. Leave me alone. Yeah, no, I agree. I found that out to be true in the river. Just finding those spots. It's just they're visible. One, you
It's
can
not
see them.
easier to fish. It's
Exactly.
just easier to locate the fish.
To know where they
Exactly.
are. Yeah, to know where you
Yeah,
need to be casting.
you can kind of run through some areas that you just know, hey, there's really not going to be fish here. I mean, they may be traveling through and may be there as you're going through, but really not going to be fish in that area at all times. Versus other areas that you see them and you're just like, oh yeah, there is going to be a fish in this area. So yeah,
there's certain parts of the river I don't even fish anymore. It's like I know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I've caught fish there, but nothing of good size, and I'll just go on past it. That's
it's like you said. It's there's some ease to it because hey, I know if I come up on a spot that say it has an island and there's an eddy running off of that island and there's some slack water on one side of it, I know if I throw through that slack water that, maybe just past the eddy, somewhere in that area, I'm probably going to pull a fish sitting in that slack water right off the current. And it's nice because you can see those spots. And anytime that you can see, for me, if I see slack water right off of a current and it's not like stagnant slack water, I'm like, okay, that's a spot where there's a good chance of there being a fish in there. And you can throw to those, but it's like you also said, there's ease to it and there's a challenge to it as well. You've got that challenge of, hey, I'm fighting a fish while I'm constantly moving. There's very little stopping in the river. Now, of course, you got rivers that are more shallow and you're, dragging the kayak here and there. But most of the time, you're constantly moving and you're fighting fish around it. You're fighting fish around, hey, there's boulders right here, in the middle of the river, or there are logs that are sticking out into the river, and that's a great place to throw at. But it's also a great place to snag up on, and you're still moving the whole time. It's a great place to hook a fish, and that fish gets you wrapped in the log. So, yeah, it's
you learn not to really like the lure that you're using. Because being content just to let it snap and go, you're going to lose a bunch. The amount of money I've given to the river is not funny.
Lost a lot of Ned rigs in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ned rigs were popping off for sure. We had to, after the first day on the Mississippi, we had to go back and pick up some more Ned heads because I was running low on them, and I had a decent amount before we went out there. So
I never fished with them, so I didn't carry a whole lot of them, but still. So we went and picked up more, and I lost more of those too.
So the outdoor amputee said, what is the go-to setup as far as rod, line, and lure? So if you were going to pick one setup to recommend to someone who is new to river fishing, new to smallie fishing, what would you recommend?
Well, depends on if they know how to use a bait caster or not. That's going to be. See, I only fished with spinning gear for a long time. I've just picked up the bait caster a couple years ago. Yep. So for me, if I was going to say somebody new, straight out, I like longer rods, which is not a good combination when you're sticking out your kayak in rivers, but I prefer longer rods. I like a 7-1 medium heavy.
Okay.
When it comes to reel size, that all depends on what you prefer. That's something that I always go with, like the medium size, like a 2,000, 1,000. I don't really go really big. Yeah. But when it comes to lures, I would probably put a spinnerbait, a chatterbait. See, for me, I go big baits. I like big 6-inch swim baits. That's kind of like my thing. But to guarantee somebody fish, it's gonna be like a Chopo or a plopper. Yeah, that's a go-to. Line wise, it's heavy. I'm getting heavier and heavier the more I fish a river. So it's more like anything 15 to 20 pounds. Yep. And that's not even heavy for some people.
Yeah,
some people think I'm going light. A lot of my setups now are actually going between 20 to 25.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. I know for him that he just picked up a bait caster, so he's
Yeah.
mainly using spinning rods right now.
Yeah,
And
he's
for me,
working to learn a bait
line-wise, if you're doing a spinning rod, I like braided line to fluoro.
Yeah.
That's what I do with all my spinning rods. My bait casters, I'm now this year just going straight braid for a
Yeah.
lot of my moving baits. I'm not going to
Yeah.
bother doing fluoro.
Yeah, that's my same thing. I've got to where almost all of my rods are straight braid. For the longest time, they all were. Now I've got to where I'll throw fluoro on my spinning rod, and sometimes, well, I've got it on my Texas rig rod too, just a fluoro leader, and then sometimes on the BFS rod I might break out a leader, but most of the time on it I'm running 8 to 10 pound braid, so it's and I'm throwing moving baits on it most of the time anyway. And for me, if I'm throwing a moving bait, there's a lot less issue with throwing fluoro. So,
Yeah,
but
that is something I have adapted a little bit more this year. Is that I'm gonna be throwing a lot more braid because I listen to people like Drew Gregory, Russ
yep,
Snyder. Those guys, they just run straight braid. That
yeah,
they don't even like the whole fish seeing the line.
yeah,
Finesse, I will always disagree with that. If you're doing a finesse presentation, dropping a lure right in front of a fish's face and they just have to stare at it, I don't want
yeah,
them to see that line.
yeah,
But with moving baits, I'm starting to see that I don't think fish
yeah,
really care about what line's on there.
yeah. I agree. And it depends on your rod, obviously, with what you're throwing on the action of your rod. But I mean, a medium heavy is a great rod to bring out there. I mean, it's going to be a
It's an
fairly
overall.
versatile rod.
Yeah, you can pretty much do anything with it. That's what I love about pretty much all my rod. I only have one really heavy rod, and that's what I throw my big swim baits and stuff like that on.
Yeah,
Pretty much everything else is medium heavy. I have a few medium lights for some, like my spinning rods. I have some mediums, but
yeah.
pretty much medium heavy. That's where I go.
So I know we're going to end up getting you to come down and fish with us sometime. Do you ever throw a frog, or am I going to have to get you on the frog bite down here?
I've thrown frogs, but I'll be honest with you, I have hated frogs. The amount of glow ups that I miss drives me insane. And it's like I've tried different frogs. I've tried boiling the frogs.
Yep.
Try sticking them out in the sun to make them as soft as possible. And I'm
Yep.
like, I miss so many fish off a frog. It drives me nuts.
Yeah. So this weekend when I did the topwater class, I was talking about frogs, and I pulled out the old Booyah Walmart special. It's like a pad crasher or whatever it's called. And I was showing that, and our friend Hunter, he was like, "Oh yeah," he said, "that's the frog I throw all the time." And I said, "I literally hate this frog. I hate this frog with a passion. They are junk, and I know people have success on them, but I absolutely hate that frog. Would never throw it again." And I've got the hooks bent out, because that's what everyone recommends. And I'm like, I cannot catch fish on this thing at all. It's so stiff. I've boiled it. I've done everything you can, and it's just junk. But those Tactical Fishing Company frogs, and I got on those, and that frog bite really set me on fire with those particular frogs. So maybe I'll hook you up with a couple of those when you come out and get you to.
I'll definitely give them a
figure out the
try.
frog
The
bite.
funny thing is, the only frog that I've had any success with is the cheap scum frog.
Yeah. Now I've actually
know
heard the
why.
scum frogs are pretty good.
They're so cheap at Walmart.
Yep.
That's one of the first ones I got, and that is like the only frog. I've bought some more expensive ones. That's the only frog I've been able to catch fish on.
Yeah, I've actually heard the scum frogs, and I can't say I've actually thrown them, but I've heard the scum frogs are pretty good. I'm not a fan of the 6 Sense frogs. I'm not a fan of really any of them that I've tried. I still haven't tried the what's the Berkeley one, the Swamp Lord. I haven't tried that one, and I've heard really good things on it also. But other than that, I've tried most of the big name brands and just haven't cared for them. Spro is okay. I do kind of like the feel of the Spro, but I've still just not had success on them.
The outdoor amputee said, I hear a frog only challenge. And I have to say, we really do. We need to throw one together on the one that Travis used. Throw it together like a frog
So
challenge in like April or May.
Like, I've tried to talk our local club into doing something like that. I think it would be a blast. And it's something that as we continue working with them, I'm going to end up talking them or somebody into.
I was just saying we should do it ourselves.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Or like your own channel thing.
Yeah, and that's fine. But I want to do like an official frog only challenge. I can't help it.
Oh, wait, just my idea and throw it out.
I
the
didn't
window.
say it was a bad idea.
You kind of did.
But I really want to do a frog only challenge. I've wanted to for a while. Again, see Greg Blanchard go do it out there in California. They sign up and do it, which they're on the boat when they do it. But man, that would be a blast.
Oh, it would be. When it comes to that, topwater is like my favorite. When it comes to, I love the topwater bite. Just never been able to master the frog. That's just
there is nothing like a topwater bite. Winner gets a fake foot trophy.
Are you donating the fake foot? I think we should do it in like April or May on the one like that, like Travis used or whatever.
Yeah, we can definitely set that up. I can't remember what it's called, but I know I've got it. It's just it's a free app that you can set up little free tournaments on. It's fun. So yeah, we could definitely get that going and invite anyone who wants to join.
Yeah,
it'd be fun
challenge.
Frog only. I'm gonna win it.
If you didn't,
I don't know. I know.
So you have more to lose though. That's the thing. It's
does.
like for me, if I would do it, I'm just winging it. It's like if I do good, great. But I'm not losing nothing.
I don't know. I like my buzzbait. It's easy to unhook. I like my whopper poppers too, don't get me wrong. But then I got on the buzzbait, which is one single hook versus the barb, the whatever. So it's easier to unhook. So now I like that one better. So I'd rather fish with that. And I love that Smallies love that because why not?
Oh yeah.
Why not fish with something?
Mississippi spoiled me on the buzzbait. That is what I caught all my fish off of.
That was me in Minnesota. It was either the buzzbait or the Ned rig, which is the first time I really fished that. So that was interesting also. But most of them were the buzzbait. And so it was a blast for me being able to go out there and catch them in one of my favorite ways. Just spend the whole week doing that. It was pretty cool.
And I see Mama Gone Fishing said, can't wait for the fish to start biting. Last 2 times been out and been skunked. So actually one of my buddies that fishes out of a bass boat was just talking to me today. And the last couple times he's been out, he said all he's caught was a couple crappies. So the bite is apparently tough right now. We had that warm front come through, and I've got a buddy that was sending me some pretty good fish that he was getting on. Yeah. He got a limit multiple days in a row, and then I think that little cold front came through again, and I think it may have killed the bite for a little bit. But hopefully after this set of storms that runs through now, things kind of calm down a little, but we have another cold front moving in too. So who knows?
Yeah. It's looking pretty poor for us over here, but
Josh said he'll take a Chapo. Chapos are very good too. I like a Chapo. They definitely have a more aggressive plop than a whopper plopper.
The only thing I don't like about the Chapo, and I've had issues with it, that the body runs on its side.
Yep.
And I miss bites because they'll hit it from the side and the hook. They'll completely miss the hook.
I've got so many line twists running regular whopper ploppers and Chapos. Both of those. I get so many line twists that I really like to run those flat-sided whopper ploppers from 12 Oaks Custom. And I seem to have a really good hookup ratio on those as well. Now, I have more fish throw hooks when I'm throwing a whopper plopper than what I do a buzz bait because, again, that big single hook. But whopper ploppers are just fun to throw. The sounds, the excitement of the blow-ups, they're just fun. And my dad said the catfish aren't even biting good for him right now. So,
well, this back and forth weather always throws them for a loop. I'm really hoping that it doesn't get as cold as it's supposed to because our first tournament is only like 2-ish weeks away, 2.5 weeks away. I don't really know for sure, but pretty close. And I want it to just stay warm because if it stays warm for the next 2 weeks, you know what's going to happen. And it's going to be killer a killer tournament. It's going to be amazing. So I'm like, please just
I
be
will
wrong,
say
weatherman.
I will say the March tournament always ends up having a few bags that are really big. Like a few people put up really good numbers, and then a lot of people do really terrible in the March tournament. From the last, I've fished it 3 years now, and the last 3 years, it's always been one of those like you see a really big bag end up taking home the win, and then you see a lot of skunks and a lot of people doing rough. Honestly, last year I skunked in it,
You did.
and Kayla
It's a
caught.
tough time of year to fish.
I
It
got
is.
one or two. Yeah, when it goes cold, hot, those fish,
Mhm.
they just,
Yeah.
it's a weird bite. And if you can't figure it out, that you're just, which, yeah, last year was just fun altogether for the first tournament. The weather is
Yeah.
just always so wacky.
Yeah, we always a chance of rain moving in on us. Always the wind. The wind is for sure going to hit us. So that's if I do go out tomorrow, I've already seen it's going to be windy out there. So might as well start getting prepared for the wind as it is, because it'll be out there when we're tournament fishing. It's like
Yeah.
tournament day happens, and we've got to see those like 20 to 30 mile an hour gusts.
Cats will start this month in Tennessee. They were hitting the shallows Saturday. Seems like your guys' bite turns on a little sooner than ours down in Tennessee, which I don't get because I feel like we have the exact same weather.
No, they definitely see some warmer weather than us, at least a little. I mean, it depends on what part of Tennessee.
Yeah.
If some of
I'm
these guys
generalizing it into one area
Yeah.
because it's
I don't
everyone.
think they even hit the lows that we hit too,
It's
and I think
true.
that makes a big difference.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, I see Teresa said she was freezing and sick last March tournament. Yeah, I remember that. That one was rough. It was a rough tournament. The wind was absolutely brutal out there. My rudder messed up. So trying to pedal around, and my rudder wasn't actually turning me at all. So I'm like pedaling and using the paddle to turn. It was rough out
That's
there
why
in
you gotta
that
get to
open
the motor.
water.
I know.
And pedal steering, then you can just kind of like go with the wind.
That would be so nice.
Josh said if I'd have thrown the Texas rig, I wouldn't have skunked.
It's probably true.
We'll see about that this year, because I will for sure be throwing a Texas rig.
And I feel like, because I did catch, I think I caught two. I feel like if I would have started on the side of the lake that I knew better and would have started with something like that, I think I would have caught more fish too. But here's to this year and seeing if I can actually prove that right and find the pattern this year. I'm excited. I don't know if I'm gonna get to pre-fish or not, so it's kind of crazy right now.
We'll for sure find, if nothing else, some evenings to hit the water, because I am so ready to actually hit the water this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's been tough. We haven't fished in Indiana at all, so
I haven't fished at all yet this year, and that's driving me crazy.
Winter's long, man.
Oh, it is. And we had all that
long.
snow that's decided to stick around for a month, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, for sure. We definitely seen some. Really, we've seen more snow this year here than at one time than I think we've seen the whole time we've lived in Indiana. So it was definitely an adventure when that snow came through.
I could see it on all the your media feed is filled with fisher people now, and like people like Jake. I could see them, like you could see them. They're starting to go stir crazy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just see it all over all of us. Even Dalton, he posted that one video of like off season. I was like, even he's going stir crazy.
Yeah, John Dalton.
Yeah,
he was. I think he was struggling for sure.
Yeah, he's out there playing basketball, making a reel about it. And I was cracking up. I was like, yeah, he's going stir crazy.
Yep. Yeah, he just went up to Minnesota and did some ice fishing with Jay Kilyakin.
Yeah,
went up there and did some ice fishing with him, and they seem to have had a fun time. So
that looked like a blast.
Oh, it had to have been. I want to fish with John. I want to fish with John badly. So
ice fishing, just I don't know. It's one of those things where you're just sitting there again, and it drives me nuts. I don't know. I don't think I would like it.
Yeah, I would like to try it. I'll for sure try it next year. I've got Dad Life Fishing Adventures. He's invited me a couple times now, and I told him next year I'll plan out a time and I'll come up and join him because he's in like the central northern Indiana area, so their lakes ice over a lot more than ours down here. So
I want to do the ice fishing they did in a nice warm
Yes.
that
camper, not in like a little shanty. Everybody around here, it's like small little shanty or direct in the wind. I'm like, yeah,
those ones like they were in where it's like heated, and I mean they had like TVs and
it
stuff.
looked really that one. You might convince me to try, but
that's just vacation. You just cast your line out and just let it sit.
Yes, for sure. So I wanted to talk to you about, so what all socials are you on, like your social media? I know
right now,
obviously Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, and I'm starting to dabble this year in the YouTube.
Now, when you say Facebook, do you have a page, The Smallie Life?
Yes.
You do.
Or unless it hasn't changed yet. It's supposed to have been all changed over. I thought I got everything swapped over.
I couldn't find it, so I'm gonna make sure I find it and follow you because I was trying to tag you in it when I made.
I've noticed something's up with it. I need to figure it out because like my stories aren't getting like 0 views. Yep. Like something's not right. But everything got swapped over. It's supposed to have.
Okay. All right. So I'll hit you up later and make sure that
send us
you send me a link to that.
Either, so make sure you're all set up.
I definitely couldn't find it. I was looking for it because I wanted to tag you in this post when I made it. But so you're The Smallie Life on Instagram, Facebook, and
YouTube.
And have you posted
on YouTube, but like a few shorts. It hasn't got nothing yet.
But that is going to happen this year, right?
Yeah. This year I'm gonna try. So at least try. I'm gonna say that.
Now, have you recorded in the past on your kayak?
I did last year. Last year was the only time. The annoying part, like when I wasn't recording, is when all the good stuff would happen, and then when I'm like, I'm gonna take a day and record. Yeah, that'd be the day that I lost all my Mississippi footage. That really bummed me out because that would have been a great video. Like, it was back-to-back fish that morning. It was, great time. But last year is when I just first started recording, mostly for the Kayak Adventure Series.
Yep.
So if I would ever win, I got those extra.
Yeah, you might as well be recording there. I mean, you just never know if you get the video of that, biggest fish. I mean, getting that payout would be sweet. And also, like, who wouldn't love getting called up there and seeing their fish catch on the big screen in front of everyone else? Because that's the coolest thing for me about the Kayak Adventure Series is the award ceremony. Like, everyone's going there excited about what's going to be announced, whether they know that they've got a shot at being in it or not. Being there and being excited for your fellow anglers out there, that's part of what's really special to me.
Are you gonna hit
it bummed me out because I lost my PB footage, and that was like it picked me off the day that I found out.
That's awful.
It was frustrating.
That's crazy. Are you gonna hit up all of the Kayak Adventure Series this year?
I'm hoping to hit them all, but Florida. I won't be able to make it down to Florida.
Yeah,
but my schedule is out for that one. That's in a couple of weeks.
It's spring break week.
I was going to say it's
March
it's just a few weeks away.
Like that.
Yeah, I think it's the same time that our first tournament.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't be able to make it to that one, but I'm planning on making it to the rest of them if I can.
Yeah, that'll be good. We definitely want to try to hit. We're planning on 2, and if we end up somehow making a 3rd one, that would be awesome. But definitely cannot wait to fish Kayak Adventure Series again. There's just something about it, and that's what else I wanted to ask you. So you talked about, that's the tournament you fished. So you've not fished any local tournaments at all?
Just one. I just fished one local tournament, and it was on my home river. They actually did a series that connected my river into it, and I don't know if you know Jake Cook. He reached out to me. He's like, dude, this is in your backyard. You got to fish it. I'm like,
you got to fish it.
Try. I actually did good. I got 3rd place.
Oh,
But I was
Nice.
fishing against Ryan Parker, Steve
Uh-huh.
Baker. So
Yeah.
kind of all the same people that I fish against in the Kayak Adventure Series.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's different then. If you lose at
Yeah.
the Adventure Series, it's
Oh, yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Actually, I fished with Steve Baker almost. I don't know where he started at, but we kind of caught up with
Yeah.
each other, and we
Yeah.
pretty much fished that tournament together. It was a fun tournament.
Yeah. So what brought you to the Kayak Adventure Series? How did you hear about it first off, and what made you decide, hey, this is what I want to try? Like, I want to try tournament fishing and I want to go big.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm trying to remember how I actually learned about it. I think it was off their Sholey Palooza,
Mm-hmm.
as I heard how well that went. And I've
Yeah.
been looking for different tournaments that fall on the weekends, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Because all the tournaments around me, most times are going to be Saturday, Sunday. And that it's like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to deal with those ones as much. I'm like, well, I'd
Yeah.
like to find events so I could take a weekend, fish, be back Saturday
Yeah.
evening, Sunday. So I started searching around, and then naturally, I mean, I looked at Bassmaster and all the big ones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but that's way too much for me. Well, then I
Mm-hmm.
saw that Drew was starting a series. I'm like, I'm gonna check him out, kind of see. So I kind of waited, let Sholey Palooza go on, and then I saw all the
Yeah.
great reviews from that event. I'm like, yeah, I got to give it a try. And it's everything that I like: mixture of rivers, mixture of lakes. I mean,
Yeah.
Drew's a river guy, so I know he's going to pick good rivers.
Yes.
So I know that's kind of where I was like, well, I'm just going to jump into it, die hard. I drug my brother-in-law with me to the Michigan event, and I'm like, we're just going to go. We're just going to wing it.
Yeah.
And once I fished that, I fell in love with it. That's actually where I met a Chegan, and that's where I started doing all that.
That's awesome. Yeah. So it's funny because I knew about Achigan for quite a while, really. Started following the Smallie Talk podcasts and stuff. And then we actually met them. As crazy as it is, you know, they're in Indiana, we're in Indiana, but everyone doesn't realize, like, we're literally barely in Indiana, and like everything is north of us here. So we seen them when they came down to the East Tennessee Fishing Show, not this past year, but the year before that. And that was when we first officially met those guys, met Josh and a couple of the others. So, you know, I hadn't actually met the guys that were out of Indiana doing, you know, making Smallie gear until we went to another state, and that's where we met them at. So.
Yeah, once I met Josh at that event, and I was like, yeah, these are cool guys. And I'm like, I want to be a part of that. And then I saw all their stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's me. So I just started buying a bunch.
Josh is just like, he's such a down-to-earth guy that is, man, the guy can catch fish.
Oh, yeah.
But such a down-to-earth guy. And like, he's as much as he's cocky, he's also super humble about it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know, you'll hear him being cocky, but it's just kind of to run his mouth and because he likes getting people fired up.
Yeah, it's just for fun.
But like, if you say something about how good he does, he's like, "Oh no, I'm not really that good," you know. And you're like, "Yeah, you definitely are." Like,
yeah,
you definitely are that good. I mean, for him to win the Upper Mississippi was pretty awesome. Getting to see him pull that win off.
I was rooting for him all the way. When it comes to that, I'm like, this is his event. Like, he's got to win this.
I mean, like you gotta. Again, I've followed the Smallie Talk guys for a while and have heard them talk about that stretch of the river, you know, for so long, and like that's part of what made me the moment they announced that. So they actually announced that tournament. The first Kayak Adventure Series that I was at, which was Ozarkana down in Missouri. Mm-hmm. I fished that event, and they announced that tournament there. And the moment they announced it, I was there with a group of guys, and all the guys were like, that's an event we're going to fish. We are going to go fish the Upper Mississippi. And then life got in the way for every one of them, and I was like, nobody we know is going to get to actually fish. So Josh Lanham said, I appreciate that.
I know. You're a good fisherman too, Josh.
Yeah, so it's like nobody else
I don't know if you're humble,
was going to get to fish it. And then we went up there and we got to meet Dill and his wife, and then got to meet you up there. That was where we officially met you, was through Kayak Adventure Series. So
sort of. You're super quiet person. He said hi a few times, but I know you guys have talked a whole lot more since then.
Yep.
Yeah, Kayak Adventure Series. When it comes to that, you can't beat them. They're such a fun event. The amount of people that I've met that I still keep in contact with, it's great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same. So like one of the things that sticks out for that tournament series to me is one of the same things you mentioned. It's not a Saturday, Sunday tournament. So we have in reality, we have an obligation to God. We don't like missing Sunday services. And we also have an obligation to our church. We like to be there for our church. We like to support our church. And we try not to fish tournaments that are on Sundays. Now, if we're out of state and not close, it's a different story.
Mhm.
But I love that the Kayak Adventure Series has that, Friday, Saturday tournament where it's not pulling you out of church. Like so many tournaments, they have to have, it's a Sunday all day event. And it's like, I understand that happens some, but it's just not really for us.
And that's why I looked, and I was looking everywhere for it because I feel the same way. And I'm like, for me, I don't want to put fishing over God. And it's like, so I'm going to try my best to find a tournaments that fit my schedule. And theirs fit perfectly. Because I normally, like for me, most of the events are only like 6 hours. So I'll leave the award show and just drive straight home. And I'm home midnight, 1 o'clock, but that doesn't bother me.
But you're still young and can handle it.
Yeah.
We need like a whole recovery day, so it doesn't work as well for us.
The Mississippi event, that was a long drive. I will say that one was tough.
Yeah, that was hard. How many hours was that for us?
Mississippi?
The upper Mississippi.
Oh, well, you say Mississippi, so I was thinking
the Mississippi River.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I should say upper Mississippi.
You're good. Yeah. I was just thinking you went to a Mississippi event. I didn't realize you're talking about the same one I was.
The Mississippi River event.
Once again, it's been a long day. I'm usually more with it, okay? But yes, that was what, 12 plus hours, I think. And you drove out by yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, with that event. That was around, for me, it was around 13, 14, but then my truck broke down halfway.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I remember that. I think it was 14 for us too, if I remember right, but I could be wrong. I was thinking it was close.
It might be 14. I don't remember.
Yeah,
it was long. I will say
it was a long drive. And he wouldn't let me drive the trailer because something was wrong.
Go out there and drive it right now. Go hook up.
You have to say that because you're on camera. When I go out there, you'll be like, actually.
Just hop in when he doesn't know and just.
I'm going to just go borrow it from work one day. He's going to come out to the van. I'm going to have the trailer and I'm going to be fishing.
Yeah. We'll see. No, I'm definitely ready for tournament season to kick off.
I am too.
It's one of my favorite things. Like it's funny because when I had a boat, like I didn't have any interest in fishing tournaments. Even when I liked catfishing, that was not something. And I fished a couple catfish tournaments with my brother-in-law, but it wasn't something that was like really appealing to me. But getting in a kayak, I don't know, that it brought out the competitive side of fishing for me. Also, it was just something that changed. Being in a kayak, it was different.
Yeah, I love the competitive side of it. It's just. And do I think that I'm going to win them? No, but I don't know. There's still something about the competitiveness of it. I just love being a part of that. I think we get that a lot as kids, but when we grow older, there's not as many opportunities, and it's kind of fun just to get that excitement back.
Well, and what I've loved about Kayak Adventure Series is it's got the competitive side and the camaraderie side, which I feel like all kayak tournaments have been that way for us. Like we've been really blessed in having awesome tournaments that we've been a part of. And it looks like most of the kayak community is like that. Really, we've had very few interactions with kayak community that have been negative. And we love that about it. But the Kayak Adventure Series especially is really built around that camaraderie. And that's what Drew really kind of built it around is getting that community and camaraderie involvement. So said you only have to beat me.
And I have to this year because if we have another like last year, I don't even know. We're gonna have to lie or something. He's gonna have to give me some fish because I can't handle that again.
I mean, you beat me in Kayak Adventure Series.
I did.
By like
A quarter inch, maybe. I don't remember. It was something really, but I still won. So
I had to laugh though. I know after the first day you were like tearing him up, and I look at the thing. I'm like, what is he doing? Like, I think I didn't have much at all.
Yeah, he caught one fish.
I think I caught one 13-inch on day. It was bad.
And I mean, I only got 2 the first day, but it was an 18 and a half and a 17 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I caught a 13-incher and I caught 2 pike. I was so mad. That last pike, we were 5 minutes from lines out. I could see the ramp, and I'm casting a buzzbait and just burning it up down the bank, and have one hit and miss. And I throw back over there, and it hits again. And I was like, yes, 5 minutes till lines out. I'm going to throw another fish on the board. And when I get it close, I'm like, it is a pike. Like, I just reached down with the pliers and flipped it off of there. I was so mad. I was like, no way. Like, why did that pike have to hit right now?
I actually did not catch not one pike in that event.
Really? Yeah.
That was something that I was expecting.
Apparently the section of river we were on was pretty good for that, pike, for catching pike. But
yeah, we had a few people say that the area we fished, which in reality, the area we fished is the same place that Ryan Parker fished, and he did well. But
we're still learning constantly, especially river fishing. I feel like we'll have I won't say a better shot at like winning, but we'll have a better shot about doing better this year for sure. From learning everything we learned from last time. But a lot of it last year, and if we don't have motors by the time we go this year, which I don't know that we will, I mean, a lot of it is that we're passing up spots that we know there are fish and we couldn't stop because the river the current was slowing so fast and I couldn't paddle back up it. So
yeah, it seems like that's one thing. Every time that I end up signing up to fish a river,
the current
is always so nuts.
Fast.
Like the first day of Ozarkana, we fished the current river, and we fished the current river both days. But day 1 of Ozarkana, we fished the current river and picked the stretch. And when we got off the water, there was like at the ramp that we got off, there were signs that section of the river was supposed to be closed to the public. Like nobody was supposed to be on it because the river was flowing so fast. And when we were coming up to that ramp, and I was still in the vibe at that point. So I was in a kayak that it was fast, but it was a tippy kayak. And as we were coming up to the takeout area, there was a current that kind of whipped around the ramp. And if you got past the ramp, like there was nowhere else to get out. Like there was no bank that you could nose up to. So as I hit that spot, it spun me out. And I thought for sure it was going to flip me right there at the bank at the ramp right as we were about to take out. And I just gave it everything I had, paddled up and got on that ramp. And I was like, thank the Lord we made it through that, you know.
That was me it had been the Susquehanna event, not this past year, but the year before. Mm-hmm. Well, that hurricane came through.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was my first time with the motor. And I didn't have pedal steering yet. So I rigged up cables that I'm steering with my hands.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh, it was, that there was times I got a little bit nervous on that event.
Yeah.
Oh, I can say, so that was my first time ever on a river fishing in a kayak. Now, I fished rivers out of a boat a lot, but that was my first time ever on a river fishing in a kayak was that Ozarkana event. And it was on the day when that river was up like it was. And there were multiple spots that we hit, and I was like, God, just get me through this section. I would see those currents and trees on each side of me that were down in the water, and it was just ripping. And I'm like, if I get over to the right, I'm in a tree. If I get over to the left, I'm in a tree. And then there's a bend in the river right here at the same spot. I'm like, Lord, just help me get through this spot. Lord, I'm like, I know my buddies that were there could hear me praying part of the time. Like, God, help me get this area.
So the amount of times I've had to do that, though. It's just like, you're sitting there, I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this. But it's like, you just got to do it. You just got to do it.
You're like, man, this looks sketchy.
It's like, I'm just glad my mom don't see me. I will say.
Right?
She would kill me.
Probably so.
But that ended up turning into a fun event. That event, so where we fished, my buddy caught the biggest fish out of our whole group that fished it. And he caught I think it was a 16 and a half. Everything else was in that like 12 to 14 inch range that we were catching out of that stretch of the river. But day one, I think I caught one fish and it was like an 11 incher or something. Day two, I caught a few that were, I think I might have filled a limit, but it was a limit of just barely big enough to throw on the main, your main limit. Mm-hmm. But I also fished the micro bag, and I want to say like 34 inches on micro bags. Like I think I had one 6-incher and then a 7-incher and then a couple 8s and a 9 or something like that. Just very, very minimal fish. And I ended up losing out of the micro bag by a half an inch. And it was a $400 payout. I was like, I was a half an inch too big to pull off the micro bag win. And my buddies were like, dude, you might actually win this micro bag. And I'd be catching fish and I'm like, I've got an 8.75 on here. And then I'd catch one and I'm like, oh, I just eliminated that fish with a 6-incher, like so excited catching fish and going down by quarter inches. Like that was one of the funniest things ever.
Chris is in the room. He made it.
All right. There he is. So Wade Life is Chris that we fished with. And he's, if you ever go down to Tennessee, he's a guy to hit up. He's a lot of fun to fish with. Yeah. A lot of fun to fish with.
I do.
He's in a native LTE, Slayer LTE, and he's got a Newport on it.
Well, that's what I say. Yeah. Did you ask him or have him say what kayak he's in?
So I'm getting ready to talk about that. So you said you've got motors. So what kind of motor do you have?
I have the Newport NK300.
Yep. And what kayak have you been in with that motor?
The Bonafide SS107. That's the one that I started off with. It was a good in between, like lake, river. Like everybody I was talking to was like, yeah, it was cheaper at the time, kind of an entry level. So like, yeah, I'll try that one. But yeah, that's what I've been running. That poor thing's beat up.
Yeah.
Especially with that 300 on there. I mean, I will say I probably went overkill with the 300.
Yeah.
But in the Mississippi event, I'm glad I had a 300. That extra power was,
I believe it,
key.
We had 300 pedals on our legs is what it felt like.
There was one spot I wanted to get back up to so bad, and I tried so hard, and I wasn't going anywhere. It just was making zero progress, and I just finally was like, all right, it's not meant to be. But I knew at the point I was at, from doing that portion, like the very first day we were there, that after that there really was just a ton of dead space, and I wanted to get, and I tried. I don't think I could have pedaled any harder, but it just wasn't moving, and I was like, well, this is where it would pay to have a motor and have a little bit of extra
After I fished the Michigan event, and that like messed me up. Like I could tell I could have done way better if I would have had a motor, because I ended up being, I think, the aggressively average angler. Right back in the middle.
Right in the middle.
I think I was only an inch off of being the dark horse.
Oh.
I was so close. I was like, the first day I skunked. I didn't catch a single thing.
Yeah.
So me and my brother-in-law, he went up with me, and he's like, well, we're gonna try jumping over to the river. And I had a blast that day, but my arms were killing me because I was paddling. So trying to paddle up river. Oh, it was but it was fun.
Yeah, that's how the current river was for me. I was paddling at that point. And I mean, the current river, the areas that I was in are like known for, you're going to be dragging your kayak half the time. And I didn't have to get out of my kayak one time, other than we stopped on one island and fished from the island. But like everything was up so high, there was no getting out and dragging your kayak. There was like never a need for it. And that's, Yeah, paddling on a river is a lot of work. And then the guy who got second place on the Upper Mississippi,
Yeah, he was a beast.
he was paddling like that,
Yeah.
and he was an old guy. Like that guy, man. To be able to just handle that, like paddling on the river the whole time, and
I don't know how he did it.
it's wild, absolutely crazy. But yeah, we were able to pedal a good portion of the Upper Mississippi because it was deep enough. Just there was no pedaling back upriver. It was flowing so fast. At least the section we were in, if you were pedaling upriver, it was because you found a little spot that had some slack water in it, but you weren't pedaling very far up.
No, you couldn't. Especially, I mean, there were just certain spots just impossible because that second day got really windy too.
Yep. So you said you're currently in a SS 107, but what is coming new for you?
I am planning on, if they have it in stock. I've reached out to them a little bit. I'm going to be getting the RVR.
Yeah.
I'm planning on possibly this weekend picking that up.
Bonafide, the river kayak that Bonafide makes. So yeah,
I've learned with what I fish, the 107 is a great beginner kayak.
Yeah.
But the paddling is not as good.
Yep.
And that's hurt me in past tournaments, especially fishing the rivers that I need to with all the weight that I have. With my gear and the motor, battery, I needed to do something. I needed something a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And something that could hold a little bit more weight. And that's the RVR kind of came in. It was a toss-up between the RVR and the Sholey, the Crescent Sholey. Yeah. Those were the two that I was really trying to go back and forth. But I love my Bonafide. I'm a Bonafide guy. I like their stuff.
Yeah,
so I'm just gonna roll with it. I like it.
I totally get it. The Sholey is a great kayak. Like, love those kayaks. I mean,
I will own one. Like, that is something I will eventually own one because it is way lighter.
Yeah.
And just for me to throw and go, like, I want to get a Smallie. If I had the money, I would have like a bunch of kayaks. But for me, I would definitely have me a Smallie and a Sholey. They are great kayaks. And they all have their place. But for me, the RVR is it can be used as a hybrid. I can use it on lakes if I set it up correctly. The Sholey, I felt like didn't meet that need for me as much.
Yeah.
And where I do want to fish more lakes and get more well-rounded, that's kind of why I chose the RVR. Yeah,
Jason Reardon kayaking. He's got an RVR and he's dropping in there. He does have a build series for his RVR over at his YouTube channel. So they are absolutely great kayaks for sure. It'll be a good pick for you. You're going to have a lot of fun in that kayak this year when you get one.
And plus, I've been talking to Russ Snyder about it because I've met him at different events, and he showed me like his tips and tricks on what he did with his RVR in the Ohio event. He kind of showed us this whole kayak, and I'm like, after that, I'm like, yeah, that's the one I want.
That's exciting.
You're still sticking with the NK300. You're gonna set it up on there. Yeah, that motor's gonna.
I do want to get a 180 though.
Yeah.
Eventually, I do want to get a 180 just for the fact of like the river I fish now, the 300 is too big.
Yeah.
I fish a very small river. Yeah. It's great for tournaments. The 300 is, but the 180 is a lot lighter. It is like insane, a lot lighter. So that's why I do want to get a 180 just for fun fishing around here and for smaller tournaments I do around here.
Yep. Yeah, I think that that 300 will definitely push that RVR
It's going to. When you pop up on plane on that thing, it is so much fun.
Yeah.
It is fun.
Yeah. I am ready to motorize. That's what we've said time and time again. Like, I think having and we fish lakes mostly. We don't have rivers that are close, but I know that having electronics is great. I know that you can spend time with electronics and it's going to help you find fish and figure out things that maybe you wouldn't know without having them. But I think a motorized kayak is a bigger game changer than electronics on your kayak, in my opinion.
Especially for tournament fishing.
Yeah.
Agreed.
if it's
being
day-to-day
able to,
fishing, I can see electronics coming in more clutch. But when it comes to tournaments, especially what I like to do, the motors, hands down.
Biggest thing. It's definitely
The
where we're
biggest thing.
going.
Yeah.
That's why we're going there
Yeah.
first for sure.
yeah, being able to say, well, hey, the bite is not right here, and if I move to another section of the lake, I can try it over there. I mean, I've said it time and time again. When I fished the championship, not last year, the year before, for our local club, day one I was in third place. Day two, I wasn't able to find a limit because the bite was just not the same. I was in the same section of water. Now I didn't even have a pedal drive at that point. I was still in a paddle kayak. But I put in at the exact same section of water. I fished that section pre-fishing, and I made probably less than 20 casts pre-fishing. Caught multiple fish, got out of there. I went back the next day, fished it during tournament day, and caught a limit, multiple coals, caught good fish out of there. Day two of the tournament, the bite was completely different. I was catching them on a bladed jig 2 days straight. The bladed jig bite was almost non-existent. I ended up catching just a few on a crankbait, and they were all tiny, tiny fish. Like I was catching my small fish, I was catching tournament day one and pre-fishing were like 14 inches. Day two, I don't know that I even caught a fish that was like over 13 on day two. And I couldn't put together a limit on day two. So yeah, the bite changed completely. Had I been able to get to another section of the lake, and again, fishing the biggest lake in Indiana, had I been able to get to another section of the lake, I think I would have got on a bite and still placed well in that tournament. Even if I didn't go out and catch big fish, I still could have filled my limit and placed well in that tournament from day one, because we had a ton of people in day one that didn't even catch a limit. So I would have been up there pretty high had I filled the limit both days.
Yeah. And for me, the way I fish, I am a power fisherman.
Yep.
Be able to just go, and I can just
Same.
hit a bunch of different spots. That helps out so much.
That's how I am too. Obviously, I'll break out some, slower moving stuff. I had a lot of success on the Texas rig. Shout out to Josh Lanham. I had a lot of success on a Texas rig last year, and I do work it fairly slow, but mostly I'm throwing stuff
But if we're throwing that, it's not because we want to. Yeah. It's because nothing else is biting. It's not our preferred fishing method at all.
It's like on a river, my favorite thing to throw is a crankbait. If I can get on a crankbait bite on a river, now I can't say my favorite thing. My favorite thing is topwater. Topwater trumps everything. Topwater is better than any other bite, in my opinion. But besides topwater, I'm going to throw a crankbait. If I can get on a crankbait bite in the river, I'm probably not going to tie on anything else. I'll just throw crankbait all day.
I've probably only caught like 2 fish in the river on a crankbait.
Oh,
that is a bait that I really haven't used that much. When I first started fishing for smallmouth, like started to use the artificial and started to know the wacky rig.
Yeah.
That I learned how to fish it in the river. It was mostly wacky rig, spinner bait. But when it comes to crankbaits, I never really fished that much. Even to this day, I really don't throw a crankbait. I do have some that I'm going to start throwing this year just to try. But I haven't really mastered a crankbait like that.
Is your river a rockier bottom?
Yeah.
Most of the time? Yeah. So that's what he loves doing, throwing all that rock.
Yeah. Get you a crankbait that dives down and hits
I
off
go
the bottom.
big baits now.
Yeah.
Big guys.
I need to throw some blind
bait. That for me, that's my favorite bite. If I can get them hitting either like a coal shad, the B-wall capsize, something like that, that's my favorite.
Yeah, see, I've not had any bites on any of the bigger swim baits or glide baits. Now I've got bites on BFS glide baits, and that's fun. Like I have fun doing that. But I've thrown the big 5, 6, 7 inch glides and swim baits a decent amount, and just haven't got a bite on one. And I know getting that first bite on one would definitely be a lot of fun.
Once you do, you ain't gonna want to put it down.
Yeah,
Like,
I get that.
and the thing is, it's not. People always go, "Oh, big baits catch big fish." That's not true.
No.
That's not true.
Agreed.
I have caught so many small fish off a big 6-inch bait. It's
Yep. Well, yeah, some of the biggest fish I've caught have been on my little BFS crankbait that's in an inch and a half at the most. And I've caught some giant fish on that. I mean, I've caught 20-inch largemouth on it, 4.5-pound largemouth on that little bitty crankbait. I've caught big smallies on it. It's just one of my absolute favorite lures, and it's tiny. Like, most people see it and they're like, the hooks are like itty bitty, But it's a mega bass griffin is what it is, BFS griffin. So,
because I've heard you talk about them before. I actually got some this year that I do want to try.
Yeah,
I got to try it.
I love that little crankbait, man. Like, I don't think there is a better crankbait out there for river fishing, and it's really one of my favorites in the lake. I've caught so many fish on that lure, and I have a lot of them. It was funny when I taught that topwater class. I had all my tackle boxes out there, and they were opened up. And my favorite color is chartreuse with black back. And somebody was like, one of the little kids there, he said, "You have a lot of lures in the exact same color." I said, "Yeah, that's my favorite color to throw." So yeah, I have a lot of lures in the exact same color. For those crankbaits, my favorite colors are chartreuse with a black back. I have some red that they have like a little black stripe in them, and like some orange on the belly, and then some little blue ones that are like a ghost shad or something like that. But the red ones do really good on the river, but I still love throwing my chartreuse and black on there too.
Have you gotten to the whole pink craze yet?
So,
No,
not really. And I have, if you look at my tackle box, I have a decent amount of pink too, and I throw a pink bladed jig an awful lot, but I've not really had just like a day of catching them on pink lures.
I think if we lived by a river more and got to fish it more regularly, we probably would.
Yeah.
We just haven't had a chance to really do that yet.
Yeah, for me, last year is when I kind of tapped into the pink swim baits.
Mm-hmm.
And last spring, not as much throughout the summer though. I go back to white. I'm a pearl white guy.
Yeah.
For me, I go back to just plain white throughout the summer. But spring, there was something about spring that I tore them up on a pink swim bait.
Yeah.
There's something about the pink. I don't understand it. I mean, there's something that's pink, but
It makes them angry. I don't think they like pink.
So I know you said you like to throw a bladed jig, a chatterbait. So I see Jason Reardon said he's going to try throwing thunder crickets this year. So in my opinion, my absolute favorite bladed jig is a Mini Max from Z-Man. Now I like my dad fish tackle bladed jigs, and I throw them a lot. When I'm throwing full size, I throw that more than anything else. But I love that Mini Max. Now I actually have Dad Fish Tackle started making what he calls a weed whacker, and I am really excited to get some of those in and try those out. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Thunder Cricket myself. What about you? What bladed jigs do you like to throw?
I'm on like a search for a good bladed jig right now. I'm not anti-Z-Man, but I'm kind of the guys that if everybody's getting it, I don't want to get it.
Yeah.
I want to find my own. I mean, but last year on
a little rebellious over there.
Yeah, kind of just a little bit. Last year I mostly just threw the regular chatterbait. But then I bought some battle baits. He has what he calls the battle blade.
Yep.
That's what I threw the rest of the season. I love that one. This year I'm gonna try. I think it's called Deeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's a brand off of Dark Horse Tackle.
Okay.
I found it at the Columbus Expo. I was talking with Ryan Parker about it, and that's what he's been throwing. So I'm gonna try those this year and kind of see what I'm on. Like the search, that's pretty much all I bought. I'm not
a mainstream bait guy either. Like I don't very few of my lures are the lures that everyone loves. Everybody loves the jackhammer from Z-Man, and I'm like, I've thrown it a few times, and I don't feel like it's that special. And I've made people mad. Like when I say, hey, the jackhammer is not even close to my favorite bladed jig, I've made people straight up mad about it. I'm like, I don't see what's so special about it, but some people love it. I always liked the Mini Max. Like that was my favorite bladed jig. So I like a little bit more of a compact bladed jig that still has a good thump to it. So I'm really excited to get these weed whackers in and put them to work this year.
I want to experiment more with different trailers. That's kind of something I want to try to master a little bit more. Normally I just throw like a fluke on the back of it. That's like my main trailer. But this year I'm going to try a little bit more bigger paddle tails. That's going to be kind of like I'm going to experiment a little bit more with that.
So Jason said post some links. So if you actually see the Dadfish commented earlier, said there's something about pink smallmouth, just love. So the Dadfish is actually the guy who makes the bladed jigs that I throw most, and that is Dadfish Tackle. You'll have to check them out. But yeah, I can post some links in the description of this video afterwards. But Dadfish Tackle bladed jigs are awesome. I'm a big supporter of small business, and that's the cool thing about Dark Horse Tackle is they do a lot of small business as well. Like I'm a big supporter of small business. If you look at my tackle box, I'm going to have very few like mainstream items in there. Most items that I get, you can't go buy at a Bass Pro or you can't go buy at a Walmart. I love those small businesses. I love my 12 Oaks Custom for my custom painted lures. I love my Dadfish Tackle for soft plastics. I love my Tactical Fishing Company for frogs. Like, it's cool being able to work with small businesses.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm kind of trying to get my focus more towards this year. That's why I'm a huge Dark Horse Tackle guy. Like I like a lot of their stuff because all their stuff's like American made.
Yeah,
that's what I like. So that's where I've been. As much as I do like the jackhammer is good. For me, it's hard to beat it. I'm just trying to find something that can beat it. That's my search right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just never really liked the jackhammer, and I threw it. I've still got some in my box that have never even been tied on before.
I don't want to like it.
Yeah,
that's my thing. I don't want to like it, but it's a fish catcher. That's I mean, when you see people posting it, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the jackhammer that's catching them. That's the fact of it.
I won a bunch of bladed jigs last year from 812 Bassin, but I just suck with the bladed jig. I just don't catch fish on them that often, so I haven't really got to try them.
We didn't have the same year with a bladed jig as what we did the previous year. Like I normally have a time where it's like the bladed jig is almost all I throw. And last year it was just different. I don't know. My bite was different. I didn't have the same crankbait bite that I normally have.
Hardly ever got a crankbait bite.
So it was different. I mean, I still had a couple times. Like I had some days that a bladed jig was the only thing that worked for me. But I never had I've had times where it's been like a month straight that I can throw anything else and maybe get some bites, but a bladed jig is like that for me. And I never had a day.
I think sometimes it's the trailer.
Yeah.
It's giving that different presentation. That's why I want to try more with different trailers.
Yeah. So I've tried a lot of the different trailers out there. One of my first favorites was the Yamamoto Zako or whatever it is. And then Z-Man makes some good trailers. I really like throwing the Dadfish Tackle Imitator. It's like a craw. And I throw that as a trailer a lot of times. It's got a good action. And then I've tried a few. I mean, a paddle tail works for a bladed jig as well. I've also recently been trying the
MREs.
Tactical Fishing MREs, and they have so Dadfish Tackle. If I'm throwing the Imitator, it's got a little bit of a tighter pattern. It doesn't search as much. With the MRE, like you're talking an insane search. Like your bladed jig is going pretty wild with it. So it's pretty cool. And I mean, you might you might just kind of flutter both directions with it. It's a very cool trailer.
Yeah. Let's try to see.
So that was the next thing I kind of wanted to lead into with you is, you have any companies you work with, anything that you're on? Are you on any, pro staffs, anything like that you
I
want to
am
shout
not.
out, or just any companies that hey, this is a company I love and I want to shout them out. Obviously, you've talked Dark Horse Tack a little bit. I think that they're such a cool business. I mean, if you're going to talk, the mystery box companies, I think Dark Horse Tackle is probably one of the coolest out there.
Yeah, they put a lot of thought in their boxes. And the
Agreed.
thing is, they're not just sending a bunch of just random stuff that I think the other companies do.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, we have a lot of overstock of this bait, so let's just send it to everybody. They pair things together, and they have the videos. I mean, Ryan Parker's now with them, and
Yes.
he makes content for them. You
Yep.
can actually see that it works. That's what I like about their stuff. And like I said,
Yep.
for me, it's American made. Anything that I can get that's American made, I want it.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah, I know. Like I brought up Tactical Fishing Company. They've had some tactical fishing in their boxes a couple times now, which is really cool. So, yeah, I think it's awesome. Again, I'm a big supporter of small business. Our family has survived with small business for several years now. So I think it's really cool to support small and, like you said, support American made. I think it's awesome.
Trevor said he got
That's
some
what
of
I'm searching for this year. Like, if I could find sponsors, it's going to be small businesses like that. Now, there are some that if they would want me to work with them, there's some big brands that I would love to get with.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm like, if I can find a bunch of small groups of people that I can work with, that's what I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, at this point, I don't have any sponsors. I'm just kind of winging it. And I'm kind of taking this time to be able to try everything.
Yeah.
Like a brand this year I do want to try is Cash and Rods.
Yeah.
They're 100% American made. I saw I saw Wendell's video on them, and that kind of sold me over that I definitely want to try their rods. I did do something with Kistler for a little bit on their pro staff, but whatever they call it now, they changed it so much. I was with them, great rods. I will say their helium lineup is amazing. I love their rods, but it's one of those things that I want to try to kind of make my own path and try to find the people that I want to work with.
That's what's been great for me, man. And that's what I'll say about the companies I do work with. I work with companies that I support them and they support me just as much. Like I said, the Dad Fish, Jeremy was in here earlier. He is a huge supporter of me. And not only is it right here, we have a text group and we talk almost every day with him and that fishing noob. We talk all the time amongst each other. Andrew Blair, Tactical Fishing Company. We have a group that we talk literally every day. And, not only are there to talk about the lures that they make, but to talk to each other and help support each other, they're guys that the moment I hit monetization on YouTube, hey, guess what, guys, I hit it. And they're all celebrating while some of them are still working on the same thing, and it's pretty awesome. And then 12 Oaks Custom Lures, he literally shares almost everything I put out. He is one of those that is on there sharing. And I love working with people that support me as well.
Yeah, because there were some companies that they would talk to me, but it was more like they wanted me to prove a lot to them before. And I'm like, if you want me to prove myself to you, if you don't see me for who I am, I can talk to you. If you don't want that, then that's fine. I'm going to try you just go, no, we're not interested, move on.
Yeah.
Then to kind of play that game, well, buy our stuff, use it for a year, do this, that, and the other. I'm like, I'm much rather I'm just going to buy it anyway, try it. And if I don't like it,
exactly.
I can move on.
Agreed.
Yeah. Trying to make sure I didn't miss any comments.
Yeah, a bunch came through kind of all at once.
I know Trevor said that he's hoping for the weather to cooperate. I figured in Texas he was already slaying them out there.
Yeah, he's like northern Texas though. So
Still Texas.
Well, I know
Texas
people that
is
catch them out
huge.
there, and they're catching
Yeah.
bigs.
Yeah,
Texas is a whole continent.
Texas is absolutely huge. The northern Texas guys don't know anything about the same bite that some of the other Texas guys do.
Mhm.
So, all right, you got anything else you want to throw out there at all? Yeah.
I think we kind of covered all bases, pretty
Yeah,
much.
I'm just looking forward to getting to hang with you in
Yeah.
a month.
Yeah.
A little over a month.
Yep. We've
For
got
the
the
Indiana Kayak
house
Adventure
booked,
Series,
so
yeah.
looking forward to hanging out. It'll
Yeah,
be
I'm
a good
excited
time.
for that event. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm excited for it.
It feels,
I've never fished a river in Indiana.
it
So
feels so weird because it's our local tournament and
Yeah.
we don't even know anything about that
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
Never even heard about Plymouth until they announced it. So
it's further from us than the Tennessee event. So, you know,
Well,
we're
that's the
driving
weird
further
part. 'Cause I
to-
looked at my time, and it's only like 4 hours for me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, but for me to get to where you guys are, because I've done a lot of traveling towards the Evansville area,
Yeah.
it's like 6 hours.
Yeah.
So I'm like, for me, it's weird that when I was spending around a 6-hour drive, and Eric Tracy, he's reached out to me to fish some of their
Yeah.
river events. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, dude, it's only 4 hours. I'm like, wow, I thought it was way farther than that.
Yeah, Eric's a really good guy. He's actually fished the bluegrass event several times over the last quite a few years, and I could remember him from fishing those events. So I actually met him when we went up to the Upper Mississippi and met him there at that event and talked to him. But yeah, he's a good guy. So he was one of the Indiana group
Yeah,
that
I know,
we were at the table with. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's where I met him, actually. We stayed in the same house.
Yeah.
And then me and him ended up doing a float together the second day.
Yep.
Yeah, he's super nice. Too.
Trevor said they had 40-mile-an-hour winds today in his part of Texas.
Gross. Yeah, gonna avoid those for sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining. We're going to go ahead and end the stream and